is the Medimob's order that I want to show you guys in a moment, and another one is a present from a friend who sent me flowers like last week, but because of the public holidays and delays, I only picked it up like today, so the flowers were like in the postal office for like 4 or 5 days, and I was like, there is no way that they would survive, but apparently they are so good at packaging their flowers that they did survive. So I'll show you guys in a minute the flowers, but let's talk about the books first. So I got like 5 books for 20 euros with the Mother's Day discount of 12%, which is pretty nice. You could get even cheaper books there. Usually I only pay like 2 to 3 euros for the books I buy Medimobs, but the last order, so this order I made, I was in the mood of kind of treating myself after some difficult times in my hospital. So yeah, the first book I got is a French book called Le Flambeau by the American author, I think Sarah McLean. Is she American? Yeah, it's an American romance author. So basically I saw this recommendation by a booktuber that I think it's essentially booked, I'm pretty sure, and I usually don't read that many romance, but romance books are usually very written very easily to understand. And I remembered when I first started to learn German, I also read some romance books in German, so I thought this would be pretty nice because I'm going to finish the French book that I'm reading right now soon. So this is a historical romance, and the next book is by Lily King, and it's called Euphoria, and it is about, this is in German, but I didn't realize, but essentially I think Lily King wrote this book based on true stories of 3 anthropologists. So basically a married couple and then another man. They all went to New Guinea, how is it called in English? New Guinea, probably, to like explore the whole island and the people living there, and there is a polyamorous relationship that just developed between those 3 people. So I mainly heard of this because at first a Book Olive did a video about Lily King being one of her favorite authors, and then I just saw different booktubers I watch who also mentioned Lily King and her work, so I got 2. Another one I got is one of her favorite books, I think, called Writers and Lovers, and apparently I got this book in acceptable condition because the dust jacket is not here, so it really doesn't disturb me that much. So this one is apparently in German as well, which is also fine. I was just not expecting it. I thought I'd order them in English originals, but yeah. And then we got almost new, I think it's the new copy of Ninth House by Lee Bardugo, and I read some little boyfriends, dead-end jobs, and much, much worse. In fact, by age 20, she is the sole survivor of a horrific, unsolved multi-homicide. Some might say she's thrown her life away, but at her hospital bedside, Alex is offered a second chance to attend one of the world's most prestigious universities on full ride. What's the catch and why her? I think this is probably one of those, more famous books in an academia setting. So I'm looking forward to this, and I got a feeling that I might pick up this book really soon, maybe in this reading vlog. We will see. And the last book I got is The Last House on Needless Street. So this is a thriller, and many people have very high praise for this book because it is a thriller. I just don't want to risk reading the backs to spoil myself. But yeah, that's that. As for the plan for the week, I am actually going to leave my city again tomorrow. I have a feeling that since I moved to this new city, I'm just always in motion. Also because I'm in my last year of medical school, so I have to go to different places, different hospitals to introduce myself, to look at all the places if I want to work there, etc. And yeah, so tomorrow I'm going to another city to have a look at their pathology department for 3 days, from Wednesday to Friday. And on Friday I probably would also meet up with a friend who is a doctor working in ophthalmology there. We probably would just grab a lunch or grab a coffee together on Friday. Then I'm going to come back. Yeah, so pathology is very interesting for me for several reasons. First of all, I think I'm going to go into details in a more like general life update or whisper ramble videos and talk about what I want to do for the future. But essentially I realize for myself it is not so important which specialty I do, but I'm interested in a lot of different fields, and it is more important to me that I can always learn interesting stuff in a subject. But like, I'm interested really in a lot of subjects. I'm interested in dermatology, I am interested in internal medicine, but also pathology. Pathology is a subject that is very strongly associated with academia. Of course, there are also pathologists who work in private clinics, but most of them work in university settings, in teaching hospitals, which means it goes hands in hand with a lot of research. That's then true for most subjects in like a university setting, but specifically for pathology, because in pathology you do not have clinic, so you do not have your own patients, you do not have to charting, to work with like your own group of patients. Much more, you always get sent different type of tissues, of biopsies, and you look at them under the microscope. So because of the nature of the job, you naturally have like more time than your other colleagues to do research. So in this field, people tend to write and publish a lot of papers, and so it basically means if you want to go up in the ladder, not the ladder, okay, whatever, you know what I mean, like you have to be excellent not only in your work, like to diagnose correctly, but also to do research, which I think could be a lot. There are a lot of interesting topics to research, especially surrounding, cancer therapies, and yeah, and another like upside, I guess, is that you do not have a lot of night shifts, and myself and also my parents realize that life is too short to, risk your own health for career and for a lot of things. So basically, you only have this many years to live on Earth. It's really good to have something that gives you a lot of joy, but also do not exhaust your health, not your mental, but also not your, physical health. And I think pathology would be a good fit. But saying that, I haven't really seen this subject before, so I also I'm not sure if it suits me. It's just like in theory it would be a good fit. What else? Yeah, so that's that, and now I'm going to take off my makeup and take a quick shower because long day, and now summer finally approaches. I have this feeling. So today the highest temperature is like 25 degrees and I'm kind of sweating as it is. Oh, and also my friend in the hospital who's in the same year as me, she told me she sent out 12 applications yesterday, but for dermatology in different clinics, and she got like a couple of rejections already. So this all kind of make things like feel really real, because I think she's like the first person I heard that sent out like applications for jobs. I mean, I'm going to do this after my internship in pathology on Friday probably, and I'm also going to start applying for jobs, but for us, like, this process officially begins. So that's a small update for this portion. I'm going to talk to you later. Hey guys, long time no see. Today is the 4th of June, so it's probably over 2 weeks that we have been spoken to each other, and I want to do an update on what I'm reading right now. So I am currently reading a book by a Japanese author. The book's name is Shirori Kyoto, so literally the White Tower, and it is written in 1960. set probably in the 1950s or 1960s in Japan, in Osaka, and I just have the Wikipedia page open, so I'm going to read you the summary. The story contrasts the life of two doctors, former classmates and now both associate professors at Naniwa University Hospital in Osaka. The brilliant and ambitious surgeon Goro Zansai stops at nothing to rise to a position of eminence and authority where the friendly Shuji Satomi busies himself with his patients and research. So why I say this book came right at the time for me is because I am now also in a period where I need to apply for jobs and to consider different opportunities. And in this book, although it was like 70 years ago in Japan, and it portrays the very strict hierarchy in their university hospitals, but even till this point a lot of things don't change, and even in Germany in the 1980s and 90s, they have this term called Ärzteschwemme. Basically means that there are too many doctors than the positions that are available to the new graduates, so that people were paid very, very poorly at the beginning, and it is a little bit like how it is now for us during the last year of medical school. So basically I got paid around 550 euros per month for usually working over 40 hours a week. And although a lot of the times it is an unspoken rule, it's not like people directly force you to stay there past a certain time, but with certain subjects that are very, very popular, you have to go above and beyond to leave them a good impression of you and to potentially stay there. And so basically you are paid for like 2 euros an hour, and that apparently was really, really normal back then in the 80s and 90s in Germany for young doctors in the first 3-4 years, and people fought for a position in the hospital, and some people would share one position, so they cannot work full time. They have to work like 30% or something like that. So because of that, we have a lot of professors, mainly older ones, that are very used to being authority figures and treat you the way they like. And without going into detail, it got very nasty and very rude real fast, especially in surgical specialties, which is such a shame, because in my opinion the best way to work with other colleagues is to support each other, and no matter how low your position is, you can always still try to help people. And by this I mean that, for example, I am a final year medical student, so obviously I'm very, very low on the food chain, right? But still, we have like 3rd, 4th year students. We have, first year student who came for nursing practicum or internship, and you can working environment. There are other, soft skills you have to develop to make work for you easier, and one of them being on good terms with all types of colleagues, which is like a good reminder for myself because I think I tend to, not take up bullshit. I am more like, even though I look like a nice Asian girl, but usually my personality is more like a tooth for a tooth and eye for an eye. So I am nice to everybody if you are nice to me, but if you want to give me attitude, then I'm not tolerate that for a long time. And I don't know, there are just certain things I think I may be able to find better ways to, or work on the working relationships with different types of colleagues. What I also find so surprising was in the book, the main character, so the brilliant surgeon Golo Zanzen, he came from a poor family, and to advance forward in his career, he had to marry essentially a daughter of a very rich clinic owner, and there are a lot of examples in the books that if you want to get anywhere, just how there are marriages between two political families, and there are also many marriages between two medical families that they want their son-in-law to become a university professor, and I don't know, essentially no matter it is in Japan, in China, or in Germany, I think the general consensus is that you need a mentor that gives you opportunity, and you have to be willing to put in the hours and be brilliant yourself, of course, but if you don't have a boss that's supportive of your work, your research, it is really hard to go anywhere in the medical field. So yeah, this is a very long book. In my reading app, it shows me over 3,000 pages, and I'm already on page 300, and I just started reading this book this week. So yeah, let's see. And today the plan is to study for the last state exam, and then sending out some more job applications, and also doing the corrections on my thesis, which should be hopefully the final draft that I'm doing. And so my paper is 90 pages long, and I already corrected the first 35 pages, so I just need some more patience and do the things I need to do step by step. Yeah, so see you later. Hello everyone. Hello. So today I just want to finish my reading vlog. As you can see, I haven't done any makeup yet. It's 5:15. I just made myself breakfast. I know it's extremely early, but please ignore that. It's just how I feel convenient doing before work. I want to get some work done. So I'm going to have my breakfast with you while talking about a book that I made big progress on, and give you some life updates it's just those cherry tomatoes and blueberries because they need to be eaten, otherwise they will go bad, I think. So yeah, I always have very random breakfast, and this are some Dunkin' Donuts that I am going to have. I got them yesterday when I came back from another city. I got it from the train station. Actually very fitting because it's a little bit crushed, but I got a blueberry donut. I don't get many donuts anymore because I try to control the sugar intake, which reminded me of myself. I should be more strict about that, but that's okay. So the book that I made a lot of progress is Karen Slaughter's Fractured. So basically I think I bought a lot of Karen Slaughter books either last year or the year before, and I thought I would really get into her books because the author of Conquer really recommended Karen Slaughter as an author, and I was really into the idea of reading more books in series, and Karen Slaughter's book, like a lot of them are set in series. However, I read a lot of books from the Grant County series, which is basically a murder mystery series set in a small town, and it's not like I didn't like the small town vibe or she wrote particularly because I think she is a crime author that's very good at her craft, but I just didn't like to follow the three main characters in the Grant County series, being Sarah Linton, pediatrician and coroner. First of all, I just cannot believe the idea that you can be a pediatrician and a coroner at the same time, because where I study in Germany, like to become a clinical pathologist, this is just a separate career that you have to spend years learning, and a pediatrician just spent her free time doing this. It's just unbelievable to me. But also her character and Jeffrey's character are just too kind of, I don't know, perfect, that portrays them as very perfect people, which I'm also not really into. Guys, I have to say that I think Dunkin' Donuts are not too sweet for my taste, but they always have this really good deals called Dunkin' Duo, whereas you buy a coffee and donut for like €3.95, and I just can't skip the good deal. But anyways, this is actually also a connected series called Weird Trend, where it's not set in a fictional county, Grant County, but it's set in Atlanta. So first of all, you have like more people involved. The stories are much more believable, and the character Will Trent as the GBI, so Bureau of Georgia Bureau of Investigation. As an agent from GBI, I think Will Trent is quite a likable character, and there is actually a lot of humor in this book as well. So basically, it follows a tragedy happened in a billionaire's home, where the billionaire's wife came in and noticed that there is a blonde girl murdered and a young man with her. So that So basically yesterday I went to a job interview in a neighboring city in gastroenterology, and like this is not necessarily like my absolute number one choice. However, at the end of the month I'm going to go to one of the best clinic for this subspecialty, so I thought, okay, maybe it's a good idea to get an impression how those type of interviews work, and so I can go into my second and more important one with like a little bit of a preparation. And yesterday it was very nice. Like the doctor who spoke to me, it's like not the chef, it's not the chef, so not the chief of the whole department, but like the second chief in command, I guess you could say, because in German it's called Leitender Oberarzt, and he is a very young man, first of all, so it feels like talking with peers and not with an authority figure. He basically just asked about the papers that I published and what I have already done in the lab, and then told me about their programs, and then he brought me to the like colleagues that are working on the ward. They have several wards, like for different groups of patients. For example, you would have wards like for infectious diseases patients, a lot of patients with tuberculosis or HIV, and then you would have a ward where you have patients who got liver transplant and have complications after that, and you need to do different procedures with them. And then afterwards he picked me up again and talked with me again, and I also asked him like would we plan to going further, and he said he would very much like me to join their team, and asked about my future plans. I was being very honest as well, so I told him that I also applied for several other clinics, and he's like, oh, that's totally fine, those are also like top tier clinics for gastroenterology, and if I have set my mind, I can start working with them on some smaller side projects from July. And if I made up my mind and want to join their team, I can give him a call, and they would plan everything for me, and make everything done for next year May, because it would just be very convenient for them too, because we usually do the rotations for residents in May and in November, and May is where I want to start to work for them, because like I told you guys, after my states exam in November or December, I plan to go back to China and see my family. The only change out of this conversation is probably like he asked me if I have already done self-isolation, if I have already worked with programs like fax, and I told him yeah, but like I did this with a lot of help with the biologists in my lab, so I need to refresh this memory, and thank God like I know my lab members very well, so I texted them immediately if next year between January and April I could go back in the lab and just work with them again to like learn all the process again and refresh my memory. And yeah, and they thankfully said yes, so